Hi everyone, and welcome to the QLS Fast Start training. For those of you who are new in the business, or you're just starting, or perhaps you're still looking at the business, just deciding, this is a perfect training for you. And for anyone who's already in our team and been in a while, here's an opportunity just to recap and refresh on what you've got your hands on. The QLS Fast Start training is going to last about 90 minutes. It was written by Jane Leach and John Curtis, who are obviously the founder members of Quality Life Care Services. And as a lot of you will know, Hugh and I are sponsored by Jane and John into the business. So we're thrilled to be able to share this training with everyone. And you can obviously enjoy all this training as part of the QLS group. It's one of the great tools that we have for us to use. So what can you expect to get from tonight's training? Well, tonight's going to give you the opportunity to really see and understand more about what the buffet spread of the whole of Forever is that's on offer for you. It's also the chance then for you to see the one thing and understand the one thing that you need to learn and you need to be able to do to open up the whole of that buffet spread for you. It's the same thing that everyone does, from diamond to double diamond to centurion diamond managers down to assistant supervisors. But what it does is the one thing that all successful people do, and it allows you to be successful and enjoy everything you're going to see on the buffet spread. We're also going to show you how you do that, breaking it down. So if you can do it, then you can show it to other people. It's then up to you to decide what you want and what you're prepared to work for. So it's up to you to decide what you want to take from this buffet spread and what you want to build your business to be able to achieve for you and and your family and everyone that you care about. It all starts with you, and it all starts with understanding, and it all starts with your attitude and your mindset. And what you have to understand first is what you've got your hands on and how Forever is different to a job. So I'm going to hand over to Hugh, who's going to just introduce himself and then take you through the first part of the training.
Thanks. Hi everyone. Well, as you heard, my name is Hugh, and I know some of you on the call this evening won't know who Jeanette and I are, so just a quick fly past our backgrounds. We both had very senior positions in the newspaper industry, doing very well. We had six-figure income, but we'd always known that we wanted to be working for ourselves, to be building things for us, not for anonymous shareholders and people we didn't know. But we were in a trap, really. We thought, how on earth can we turn away from these big salaries? How can we invest money? How can we take a risk? But when we looked at this Forever opportunity for the first time, we could see a way that there wasn't any risk, because when we looked, the company had been going very successfully for 25, 26 years. There wasn't any financial investment, and we knew that we could suck it and see. We could fit around all the things we had to do in life. It seems incredible to us that was over 10 years ago. And in the intervening 10 years, we've achieved pretty much everything you're going to see this evening, which on what we call our marketing plan. And what you're going to see is wonderfully the income and the travel and the cars and all that is fantastic. It's really changed our life. But what it's really done for us is to give us choices in life, and that really is a lovely position and a lovely peace of mind to get into. I would have to say that we're also the best bosses we've ever had, and we've given ourselves some fantastic appraisals that we really enjoyed. Okay, so let's get started then. First of all, what is it about Forever Living Products? Well, when we looked, it was 26 years old, and it's now 36 years old. It's very privately owned by the same family. There aren't shareholders. And we're trading now in over 155 countries. That means we've satisfied 155 governments of the quality and the purity of our products and the efficiency and acceptability of our business model and career plan. We're cash rich and debt free, and that might sound astounding, but that's really what we are. And turned over last year around the world $2.6 billion US. That's a lot of notes. We've grown by over 38% in the last 2 years. Grew by 25% in the UK last year, and are having equal growth again this year, which is exciting for everybody. We have award-winning training and mentoring programs. We have investors in people at champion status, which is the highest level you can get in the UK, and our mentoring, support and training program is absolutely second to none. In fact, we are leaders in our industry. We're also the world's largest grower of cultivated aloe, and funnily enough, we're also the world's largest beekeepers, but that's for another time. What's more important, though, is the company is completely vertically integrated. That means from the minute the plant pops its head through the ground, and we nurture it, we grow it, we harvest it, we put it in the pots, the tubes, the bottles, and ship it all over the world. So we're in complete control of that whole process. And that gives us two wonderful benefits. First of all, we are never ever going to have a supply problem because we control the supply line. But even more critically, it means we're in complete control of the quality, and having quality and being the world brand leader in these products is very important to us and absolutely inherent in what we do. And what the industry are involved in is team marketing. It's one of the fastest growing industries in the world. It's certainly the fastest growing industry in Europe. And what's special about it? Well, when you're employed, you're committed to an hourly rate, whereas we leverage our time for money. The income we have is uncapped. You can earn what you want. I know that sounds very grand, but you decide what you want and then you can go in and get it. And there's a long-term security. You're never going to sack yourself. You're in a business that's very consistent, been growing for ages all around the world. So there's more security in this than there is in just hoping that you don't get on the wrong side of your boss, or a board thousands of miles away decide you're going to close down your company. There's a secure pension style income. There's a way you're going to see later on in this presentation of earning something we call royalty income. We get paid that right away, but we also get paid it for the rest of our lives. So it way overtakes any sort of pension scheme that Jeanette and I were originally worried about. And it's the pension style income that is for life, and it's not dependent on a fund manager or the annuity rates. You're going to get a significant income for the rest of your life. What is also wonderful for us is that income is willable. Now, I don't know any other environment, whether it's an annuity plan, a pension, or a fantastic job, where after your days you can bequeath your income to your children or your grandchildren, or the cat's home or your church, whatever you want to do. I just can't think of a better thing we are able to do for both our sons and our 4 grandchildren. The royalty income we build up for ourselves now, after our days we can leave it to them and the grandchildren. It's just a wonderful thing, and we feel very pleased about that. Except we haven't told them about it yet because we don't want any strychnine in our coffee. You're also working for yourself, and that might sound a glib thing to say, but there is a whole different mindset. You feel very pleased about the effort you put in, and you always feel that effort is worthwhile. And that translates itself into work-life balance. We choose when we want to work, and we choose when we want to not work. And increasingly we're making choices not to work less.
Play.
But we have lots of interest, lots of things we want to do. Lots of them involve being in the sunshine, so that means not being in Wales. And so we need the time and the money to be able to do that. There's a great deal of success and recognition and personal development. Success is a nice feeling. Some people feel to themselves they want to show everybody else they are successful more than they want the success itself. We mostly operate in a negative environment, don't we? So a positive recognition makes everybody feel good. And there's a huge amount of personal development. People say to us over and over and over again, I knew there was more inside me, I knew there was more to offer, and this has drawn all sorts of things out to me. It's very flexible. When we began, we were very busy, so we had to fit it around the nooks and crannies of our lives. So people can choose how much they want to work, whether they want to work part-time, full-time, or when it absolutely suits them. There's also a fantastic benefit, which is the share of the company's profits. There's no other company like ours that does that, and I have to say to you, you're going to see later on that these company profits aren't a £25 Boots voucher at Christmas. These are significant amounts of money, and you can also qualify for a car allowance and global travel opportunities, 5-star all over the world, and you can start qualifying for those from the day you start. It's also very sociable. People do this in a fun environment, and it's very rewarding because you're doing well yourself, and you're seeing the people around you having a great deal of pleasure, their lives improving, and the whole environment is very supportive and non-competitive amongst ourselves. Now, if you want to try and compare that to a job, well, that's a whole different ballgame, isn't it? Because what you do in that is you just exchange time for money. It's a straightforward contract. Often you say, I'm going to give you 40 hours of my life this week. You probably give them 60 hours, but there's nothing you can do about the money. And it's a fixed salary determined by someone else. That person has decided what you're worth before they've even met you because they are paying the job, not you. And I'm sure you've been in situations, or you may know situations, where you know you're doing better or working harder than someone else who's being paid exactly the same as you. And that's just not fair. You will have seen all the news reports about pensions are inadequate, or there's no pension, or you're going to have to work an extra 3 or 4 years to get it. That's quite wrong. And working for someone else is that someone else is interested in their profit and their share, not your well-being. There's no flexibility. You know what the hours are, you have to stick them, and you get a row if you're 5 minutes late, but you don't get a well done if you stayed and worked all through lunchtime or something. You also will have heard of this phrase, dead man's shoes. In a job, there's a limited chance for success and progression, because you're in competition with all sorts of people, and sometimes you feel unfairly done by, and you're not in control of that. You also have the fantastic benefit of getting 4 weeks off with bank holidays, and that just isn't enough time to do the things that you want to do. It certainly wasn't for us. So we needed a lot more time to be gallivanting all over the world doing all sorts of things. And of course, you just have this dreadful thing called a poor work-life balance. You wake up, you get stuck in traffic, you go to work, you're stuck in traffic, you come home, you fall asleep on the sofa, and the next day that whole process starts again. It's mind-bogglingly boring.
So you've all made the decision to get started with Forever, which is wonderful. And you've all registered with your Global Business Building License. And this is free, and it allows you to build a business all over the world. And the Global Business License is a simple form that you fill in with your name, maybe your partner's name, your address. It tells the company where to send the money, and more importantly, it links you to your sponsor at the bottom, so that the computer at head office can work out exactly the bonus payments to be able to pay you, your team, when you register people to your team, and your upline manager. And it gives you the chance to order your trial pack to start with the business. So whether you've done this in paper format, like you can see on the screen, or whether you've done it online, everybody so far has registered with the company, and that's exactly how everybody starts with Forever. There's no jobs for the boys. Everybody starts at this point. So the first thing we have to understand is how we measure our volume of business, and that's by a thing called case credits, or affectionately we call it CCs. You'll hear the word CCs very often. And a case credit is like our global currency. It's the same in every country, so we don't have to be converting currencies between different countries to be able to measure the volume of our product sales. So for instance, we can say to our team in Australia, how many case credits have you done this month or this week? And they'll tell us how many case credits, not in dollars, but in case credits. We understand what that is, and we don't have to be converting pounds and dollars to understand exactly where we are. So they know what we're talking about, we know what they're talking about. Here in the UK, a case credit is worth £159 at wholesale, or £227 at retail. I'm currently working on saying to people that it's 160 at wholesale and 230 at retail approximately, because that's just a bit easier for the maths to be able to work out. The difference between those two is £70, and the great thing about that's the first way we earn money. It's 30% difference between the wholesale and the retail amount, and that's money that goes straight in our pockets every time we retail a product. And we also make a 30%, obviously, as a discount on anything we order for ourselves, because we order anything for ourselves at the wholesale price, so we're saving ourselves 30%. You'll see there a picture of a display of products, which is our evaluation pack, our new distributor pack, and that's worth 2 case credits. And all the successful people like yourselves and ourselves register with that box. And that puts you straight on the plan with a promotion on day one, which I'll show you in just a moment. But all our products have a case credit worth. And you'll see an example there of one of our gels and our drinking gels. And any combination of products, depending on their wholesale or retail worth, add up to a full case credit. So it's just like Tesco points. When you buy things at Tesco's, you get points. And when you buy things from our company, you get points. And they add up to case credits. What I noticed when I first started in the business was that all the successful people learned very quickly how to do 4 CCs and achieve that every single month. And I thought to myself, that's interesting. To be successful, if that's what I've got to learn to do, that's what I'm going to do, because I like to be successful. I don't know about you, but doing 4 case credits was absolutely my first goal. And I thought to myself, I'm just going to have to get into that habit of doing 4 CCs, because if I can do it, I can show it to other people. And that's what this business is all about. It's about doing it yourself and showing it to other people. So how do we do that 4 case credits? Because the first thing I started to do was add up a whole combination of pots and tubes and lotions and potions, and thinking, my goodness me, that's a lot I've got to do, or I've got to use for 4 case credits a month. Well, we do 3 key things. We use the products, we retail to and recommend the products to customers, and we recruit people into our team. And it's a combination of those 3 things that make up our 4 CCs. So we learn to do that 4 CCs, and that's what we're first shown how to do in the business. So having done your paperwork and got your hands on the box, you've actually gone straight through the first position on the plan, which is a new distributor, where you would get a 15% discount because you've done 2 case credits. All the positions you're going to see on the plan are over a 2 consecutive month period. So you do a base month, you do a qualifying month to move up our marketing plan. But because you've invested in the box wisely, like ourselves, you've done 2 case credits in your second in the business. So you get a promotion on day 1 straight away to assistant supervisor, which is having achieved 2 case credits over 2 consecutive months. That's 1 in 1 month and 1 in another, or 2 in 1 hit, you go to assistant supervisor. My first decision when I signed the form was, do I want 15% discount for £199.75, or do I want to pay £199.75 for the heavily discounted box and go straight to assistant supervisor where I get a 30 plus 5% discount? And I thought, absolutely, I want the 30 plus 5% discount, a 5% on top of that. The 5% is a thank you from Forever for you for everything you've retailed and you've used in the month. And that's paid on the 15th of the month, every month without fail, as a back payment into your bank account. So the 30% goes straight in your pocket when you recommend the products to your customers, because our business is like a recommendation business. So for everything you recommend, you get paid 30%. And then the 5% is paid by the company as a thank you for having recommended those products to other people and for using them yourself. And that 5% is on the retail value of the product. So the company is very generous. It pays you on money that it hasn't had. It pays you 5% on the retail value of the products. And if you just want to retail products, that's absolutely fine. You can make 35% and stay at that position and not build a team, and you can just build up a retail base and earn an income anywhere between £200 to £500 a month very comfortably, looking after a base of customers. But to build a team allows you to earn a bigger income stream. So it all starts by you doing your 4 case credits. And if you do your 4 case credits, you can then go and find 3 people. And finding 3 people and sponsoring, what we call sponsoring those 3 people into your team and showing them how to do your 4 case credits. You'll do your 4, those 3 people, that lady in that horrible green dress at the front will do a 4 case credit. All of you will do your 4 case credits, and that adds up to 16 case credits between all of you. So this isn't about just you, it's about you and your team. Together, everybody achieves more. So with 4 of you doing your 4 case credits in, say, May, 4 of you doing your 4 case credits in April, so 16 in May, 16 in April, that's going to give you 32 case credits. You've absolutely smashed through supervisor, which is 25 case credits over 2 consecutive months. So what do you get for doing that? Well, for sponsoring those 3 people, you get a bonus on each of those that join your team of £45. So every time someone joins your team, when you're a supervisor, you earn £45. Whereas when you're an assistant supervisor in the previous month, you were earning £40. You've had a pay rise, you're earning £45 now. You're also earning 8%, so you always earn 30% margin on everything that you buy from the company and retail to your customers, but now you've had a pay rise and you get 8% on everything you use and you retail yourself. But because you're taking your team by the hand and you're showing them what to do, they're on 5% where you were last month, you're on 8%, the difference between the 8 and the 5 is 3%, and you earn that 3% on everything your team does, provided you've done your 4 case credits. And that's absolutely fair, because you can't expect to earn bonus on your team if you're not prepared to do something that you're asking them to do, which is 4 case credits. So you lead by example. And that 3% is paid as part of your BACS payment. It's what we call leadership bonus. So once you've made supervisor then, you're probably going to be about 3 to 5 of you in the team. But now what happens is somebody sees what you did and said, I can do that, I can become a supervisor. So they find their 3 to 5 people. In fact, 2 of your team might say, I can do that, and they find their 3 to 5 people. So you'll see in the next scenario, which is when we reach assistant manager, what you've done is you've done 75 case credits over 2 consecutive months. Again, now that sounded a lot to me, but if you break it down, if there are 10 of you in the team, typically 10 of you in the team, 10 of you doing your 4 case credits in 1 month, 10 of you doing your 4 case credits in the second month, say that's May, 40 case credits, and then June, 40 case credits, you'll have done 80 case credits and you'll have smashed through assistant manager. So everything is over a 2-month consecutive period. You'll have had a pay rise again, so you're now on 30 plus 13%, but doing the same work as you were doing as an assistant supervisor, recommending the products and using the products. But because you're taking people by the hand now, your team's starting to grow, as you can see. And it's not about just who you find, it's about who your team find as well. So the team's starting to grow because everybody is starting to copy you. People will copy your good habits and your bad habits. So my tip is, make sure your habits are all good ones. So typically with 10 to 15 in your team, excuse me, you can expect to earn about £600 a month. And you get a sponsoring bonus on top of that. Your sponsoring bonus for people who join you now has gone up to £54. So you're doing the same job in sponsoring as you were doing before, but now you're getting £54 instead of what you were getting before. You've got your supervisors in the team and they've had a pay rise, which is being paid by the company. Nothing's being taken away from anybody. The company pays these bonuses directly to everybody. You're not taking anything away from your team. They're now on 8% like you were last month as supervisor. You're on 13%, and the difference is 5% on everything that they and all of their team. Bigger amounts of money and a bigger bonus on a bigger group of people. So you're going to get more money on that particular bonus. So that's 5% on everything that you do. So typically, 10 to 15 in your team, you'll earn £600. Now, that's quite exciting, but the next thing is that is going to manager. So a manager is a key position in our marketing plan, because by the time you reach manager, you've learned everything that you've got to do. You've retailed, you're holding people by the hand, you're showing them what to do. It's getting very exciting now. It's much more fun at a party, isn't it? When there's a whole gang of you there, then you're there as Billy No Mates. And this business is exactly the same. It's about having fun and creating some excitement. So as a manager here, over 2 consecutive months, you've achieved 120 case credits. And that breaks down to 60 in 1 month and 60 in the next month. And that's over a 2-month consecutive period. But you've got somebody down there on the left who's following you and become an assistant manager, and they've gone to 13%. You've got another supervisor there, and you've got an assistant and supervisor, somebody just started on the plan over there, and another supervisor. Typically, between what you and all of your team have found, there's going to be about 15 to 25 in your team. 15 people doing their 4 case credits is 60. 60 plus 60 is 120 case credits. You're a manager. Now this is the highest leadership bonus you can get, the 30 plus 18%, 48% margin. And you're doing exactly the same work with your retailing and your using of the products. So the next thing I thought about when I saw this was, do I want 35 for doing the same work, or do I want 48? And I thought 48 is where my head is. So I've got to get to manager as fast as possible, because I'm doing exactly the same thing, but I'm earning 48% margin instead of 35. And your sponsoring bonus now for each new distributor is £64, as opposed to £40 when you were an assistant supervisor back at the start. But what's more exciting now is you're earning between £800 to £2,000 per month.
And I'd have to say to you, as far as those figures are concerned, in the month that we got manager, I think our figure hit £1,300, which is probably on or about that mark with that number of people in our team.
So £800 to £2,000 is life-changing for a lot of people, and people can do this part-time around their jobs, and you'll find that some people at this point, and this is where we made the decision after 6 months in the business, that we were going to, we're 6 months in the business, but we weren't 6 months building our business. Hugh decided he had a better way after we went supervisor in 3 months. And we took a bit of a break for 2 months, and then we finally got back with the programme and realised what we'd got to do. Hugh thought if we recruited 5 people, then we could just sit back and wait to go soaring. Doesn't quite work like that. We needed to build our team. So in 6 months we went to manager, and that was when I gave up my full-time job and thought to myself, okay, I can now build a future if I've got more time to put into my forever business that Hugh and I are going to find is much better for us and our family. Now the next stage after that then is obviously you've hit manager, so once you've hit manager you can show other people how to become managers. So you're going to find people who want to develop from your team into managers. Not everybody will, but some people will want to become managers. So you're a manager yourself and you're on 48%. You'll find Flo, these are terrible names aren't they, Flo, and you'll show Flo how to become a manager and they're on 48%. Then there's Mo who'll become a manager on 48%, and Joe, he'll be a manager on 48%, 3 generations deep. The company will pay you on everything that you, Flo, Mo and Joe do for the rest of your life. So you as a manager are obviously still bringing new people through to manager, and if you look over on the right, that's a typical picture of a manager business over there. And an average manager will turn over about £15,000 per month with about 15 to 20 people in their team. So turning over £15,000 is going to give you £800 to £2,000 a month. If you have Flo doing the same thing, turning over about £15,000 a month, Mo doing the same thing and Joe doing the same thing, Flo will earn 48%, but you'll earn 6% on everything that Flo does. You'll earn 3% on everything Mo does and 2% on everything Joe does. So that's £900, £450 and £350 per month. So that's £1,650 per calendar month, and that's what we call leadership bonus or leadership management bonus or royalty. This is the money that you earn once you've got to manager, because whether you're there or not, these people will continue to build businesses, and this is the money that you'll have for the rest of your life. So combined with your money that you're earning from your team, you're going to be earning between £2,450 and £3,650 per month. You can have as many Flo's, Mo's and Joe's that you want to have in your business. It's entirely up to you how big you want your business to grow. So imagine now if you had 5 lines of managers. And Jane said an interesting thing to me when we first started. She said, Jeanette, would it be so bad if you found 1 manager a year for 5 years and you found yourself at soaring manager with 5 personally sponsored managers building a business, and you were earning £45,000 to £104,000 a year for the rest of your life? I thought, that's interesting. But it's happening to people much faster than that. It's happening in a year. You might want to do it sooner. You can take longer. It's really up to you what pace you want to go at with your business. Senior manager is a key position because if you become a manager yourself, you've created 2 standalone managers in 2 different legs. It shows you can bring people through to manager. So you really know how to do everything there is to do on the plan. Sapphire manager is 9 personally sponsored managers, and that's £75,000 to £168,000 a year, and you actually get a 1% increase on that 6, 3 and 2%, so that becomes 7, 4 and 3%. That might not sound very much, but it actually means about another £3,000 to £4,000 a month on your paycheck, which is very exciting. So a Sapphire, that's £75,000 to £168,000 a year. If you're still doing your day job, you absolutely either love it or you're clinically insane. It's up to you to decide where you are with that. Diamond Sapphire, 17 managers, and then Diamond managers where you've got 25 personally sponsored managers anywhere in the world. And that's £270,000 a year, and absolutely no limit. You can earn as much as you want to.
And what I have to say to you is that these figures are taken from live businesses all around the UK today. In fact, we've toned them down somewhat because you'd much rather under-promise and then over-deliver rather than promise you the world and we can't deliver it.
So I hope what you can see from this is people don't need wages at this point. What you really need, and what we all need, and what we're looking for in Forever is an income to support a lifestyle. It's not a wage and a reward for doing work. It's an income to support a lifestyle. But on top of that, we've got some extras, and then one of them is called Chairman's Bonus. And a lot of us were in London just recently, where we saw the Chairman's Bonus checks given out for 2013. And those checks ranged from $4,000 up to over $1 million. And 22.5 million were given out to people who are just doing what they do on a regular basis and building a business and growing their business. It's for people who just qualify. It's open for everybody to start working towards. There's no upper limit. You choose your income and everybody can start to work towards that. It's very exciting and it's just an added bonus. Rexmore could give that, keep that profit in his pocket, but he chooses to give it back to the people who are doing the work from the distributors. There are no shareholders because we're a privately owned company, so he chooses to give it back to all of us, the people he cares about and the distributors.
Yes, because I think Rex recognises the strength of any company is its people. I know that's an easy phrase for some companies, but in Forever they really mean it. And he's very happy to put his money where his mouth is in that respect.
Okay, the extras. So another extra is what we call Car Plan, the Earned Incentive Programme. We affectionately call it Car Plan. That's up to £6,300 a year to buy the car of your choice or the asset of your choice. We know people who put their sons and daughters through university. We know someone who's bought a tractor. That's a bit sad. We know someone who's bought a yacht. Hugh and I used our Car Plan money when we first achieved it to send out to Australia. So we've got the Australian maternity car plan.
Yeah, that's because our youngest son has built his home and his family in Australia. There's no maternity benefit there, so we thought 9 months worth of, I don't know, $800 or $900 a month would be a big help for them, and of course it was.
Yeah, and that was really great to be able to do, and that's lovely if you can support and help your family. Then there's travel on top of that. And I don't know about you guys, but Hugh and I love travel. It's absolutely fab, and it's even more fabulouser when someone else is paying for it. And it's free, because we all like free. 2 different rally destinations every year, and nothing but the best luxury hotels and spending money when you get there. And we have to say that some of the travel that we've been on and some of your managers have been on with Forever are absolutely incredible. 5-star toweling robes are just the best. And pillow menu when we went to Copenhagen was just second to none. Absolutely superb.
Yeah, Jeanette and I have had the privilege, either through work or through pleasure, of travelling a lot around the world and staying in some fantastic hotels. But on one trip, Forever put us in a hotel. It was right on the beach in Marbella. I have to say, it just took our breath away. I've never seen a room in such a fantastic location.
It was like it
was like a small house rather than a room, and it was absolutely huge. We just felt like
royalty.
Yeah, it was
really wonderful. And we're hoping that lots of you are going to be coming to Mexico next year, and we're all going for the qualification for Mexico. So if you're looking at this business now, or you're just joining us, everybody can qualify for this global travel, and it all starts now, and you can start qualifying towards coming to Cancun in Mexico in 2015. Very exciting. The business building disciplines. So if all that is possible by just doing one thing, isn't it important we learn how to do that one thing? And that one thing is called 4CCs. It's the only requirement that's going to lead you to team leading income, incentives, car plan, global travel, global chairman's bonus, royalty style income. It's the only requirement the company make of you to be able to have all of those things. So I thought to myself, and I'm hoping you can see, that same as I saw when I first saw it, that this is absolutely the thing to learn to be able to do. So there are lots of ways to achieve your 4 case credit. So Hugh's just going to talk you through the different ways there are to get your 4 case credit.
And the first one is, there you are in that horrendous waistcoat, doing 2 CCs yourself, either personally using them. You know, why would you buy these sorts of goods from the local supermarket when you can buy them from yourself? and retailing some products yourself and doing 2 CCs that way. Then you find 2 people who've seen what you've seen, or they want what you see, or they want some more money or less time in work or less stress. And on the day they start with you with their 2 case credits, you get given that 2 case credits as well. So you've done 2 yourself, 2 each from each of your new recruits. That's 6. So there's 6. So there's one way of doing that's the first example of achieving 4 case credits. The next one is, you still haven't got rid of that horrendous waistcoat, but you are getting better at retailing and using more of the products. So now you've done, using yourself and retailing to a small group of customers, 4 case credits during the course of the month, and you've just recruited 1 person. Again, when that 1 person joins, you're credited with that person's 2 case credits as well. So there's your new recruits 2, you've done 4 yourself, so now you've done another 6. But the balance of how you've arrived at that 6, of course, is slightly different from example 1. This is the best way, of course. So there you are, you're still doing your 2 case credits personally and doing some retailing, but you found 5 people to join your business. And each of them started where you started, getting 2 case credits themselves, starting in the fastest way possible with the fastest products. So there you are, 5 people, each with their 2 case credits is 10. You've done 2 case credits yourself, that's 10 plus 2 is 12. So now you started off you hit that month with 12 case credits. If you remember, to get to supervisor it's 25 case credits over any 2 consecutive months. So now you've taken a flying leap towards that first promotion in month 1.
So you've got what's called a base month for supervisor, and the next month will be a qualifying month for supervisor. So I thought to myself, that's interesting. Where do I think I want to put most of my effort with this business? Into the retailing and doing my 4 case credits retailing? Yes, I want to do that. But I'm going to put more of my effort into finding team members and showing them how to do the same. Because that's what builds a big business. And that's what creates a fantastic income from this business. So many people think that this business is about retailing and shifting lots of products. It's actually about finding people, doing a bit yourself, and taking people by the hand and showing them what they can achieve with it as well. And that's when it gets exciting. So there are lots of ways to develop 4 case credits. So let's talk about the different ways there are to get your 4 case credits. There's the power of retailing. And the retailing all starts with you using the products. It's a bit like reading a good book or seeing a good film or going to a good restaurant. The moment I went to see The King's Speech with the wonderful Colin Firth in it, I was absolutely passionate about that film, and I had absolutely no problem recommending it to anybody else, because I think Colin Firth is great. You have to fall in love with the products, because the products you do have a passion for are the ones that you're going to retail. So it's very important you quickly get on with rubbing, glugging and munching and using those products, because you're going to then get huge belief in the products and a huge benefit from the products. You need to then have your family use them as well, because when you see what the products can do, you develop an incurable disease which is called aloe mouth, and you just have to be able to share stories with people about the products. We aren't doctors or medical people. We are just enthusiastic users of the products, and we share personal stories. People want to hear about what the products can do for them, what they've done for someone else, and they're interested. The difference between us recommending our products and recommending a film in the cinema or recommending a restaurant is we get paid by Forever for recommending the products, whereas we don't get paid when we recommend a restaurant or we recommend a good book. The average family uses between 0.5 and 1.5 case credits a month, and I have to say when we first started we were probably using about half a case credit a month. We just transferred our spend from the supermarket to ourselves. After all, if you were a greengrocer, you wouldn't go to Tesco's and buy your vegetables, you'd be buying them from yourself, so it makes absolutely good sense to switch it to yourself. But after we've been to some of the company's wonderful trainings, David Urch, Peter Atherton, Louise Riley, who's coming to Wales next week, it's really a question of, we just thought to ourselves, we need to be using more of the products. So we've increased our use of the products and we've benefited, and our health has benefited as a result of using those products, and we can recommend them. So the power of retailing is based on you using the products. So if you can aim to do 0.5 to 1.5 case credits in personal use a month, that's a great start towards your 4 case credits. So the power of retailing is then about finding time-efficient ways to show people the products, and that should read product launches, not launches. So what we've got here then is a way to get a group of people together and actually show them the products and the business to groups of people. And I know a lot of you who are on this training have already done a product launch or are about to do a product launch, which is the first thing that we did when we started in the business. It allows you to see how people respond to the products. You'll learn about the products more because your sponsor or the person who introduced you to the business or your upline manager will come and do this evening for you, and it gives you a chance to learn and see their reactions. You'll make a good retail profit. The average spend of people at a product launch is between £20 and £30. So if you've got 10 people there, it's pretty probable that you're going to do between £200 to £300 in that product launch. You'll make from 30 to 130 plus profit per launch. Now also you can recruit from a product launch. And I think what's very exciting is people join this business for all sorts of reasons. Some people love the products and then join the business. Some people are looking for a business opportunity like we were and then see the products as the vehicle to get them to that business opportunity. So you'll find from a product launch there could be people sitting there thinking to themselves, I could do this. In fact, I think I can do it better than her, which wouldn't be hard if I was doing the product launch for people to think that. And then they think, yeah, I could get comfortably involved in this. I could have this. You'll get repeat business. It's effective. It's fun. You can create different kinds of product launch nights. You can play some games on it. You can, well, it depends on what games you want to play, but you can have some fun at the product launch. You can create a foot spa night. You can do a body wrap night. There's all sorts of sports night, a weight management night. And it creates CCs and momentum and quickly gets your business off to a flying start. Because you need to be looking to get a base of 20 to 30 regular customers. And having a product launch will allow you to do that. Now, if you can't get people together very quickly, you can always quickly do what we call a mini launch. You've got your box, you can just take it with you or invite a couple of people around for a croissant, get your box out and just show them a little bit of wine night. Someone's put there. Yeah, that's an interesting way of doing a product launch. I was thinking of an aloe night rather than a wine night. But you could easily do just show people the box and just show people what's in there over a croissant, a coffee or a glass of wine and just have a bit of fun. It doesn't have to be a formal product launch. Just do it on the spur of the moment. The next way of retailing is a pup box, and my recommendation would be, Hugh and I's recommendation would be, is what was suggested to us to do when we first started was to invest in 2 pup boxes. And a pup box is £75 at wholesale, but it's fully loaded. It's a smaller version of the big box, but it allows you to be able to lend the products to people, allow them to try them at home, and then for them to be able to buy products after they've actually tried and used them. It's your silent sales tool. It's a one-to-one product show. You can lend people the pup box. We use them as prizes in free draws. I'll tell you a little bit about that later. And the pup box is very effective. It's time efficient. We have 2 pup boxes that go out on a Monday, come back on a Friday, and that's what I tell people is my midweek box. And then I give it out to people on a Friday and get it back on a Monday, and that's what I call my weekend pup box. It's exactly the same. It's just recycled. You collect and you take orders. Another big tip is when you give the pup box out, don't leave the products in the box. Get them out of the box and leave them out on the table, because once they're out, people have got to touch them and feel them and use them. You can recruit new distributors from a pup box. We've had from no order up to recruiting a new distributor or a new team member from a pup box, and it creates new business and repeat business. They are very powerful pup boxes, and they can be working for you when you're not there. I also, with my pup boxes, don't allow people to think they can just have them willy-nilly. I really make sure that they are planning to use them for the days when they've actually got it. So if I'm going to lend a pup box out to someone and they say, when can I have it? I say, well, actually, it's fully booked for the next 2 or 3 weeks. I'll have to look in my diary and see when it's available. So I give them a date which is a bit out there, and then I ring them back about a few days later or a week later and say, it's your lucky day, I've had a cancellation, you can have the pup box a bit sooner. So they know that it's theirs and it's special for them to have the pup box. And that tends to work. You need to make people want to have the products to be able to try them, and then it's exciting. If you're not sure how to use PupBox, or you're not sure how to do a product launch, everyone needs to register on the qlsonline.net website, where there are some fantastic short training pods on how to use PupBoxes, or how to use how to do a product launch, how to do all the things that there are in the business. And it's well worth watching Kath Gervais on using a PupBox. It's an excellent training pod. The final one is the power of talking to people, of retailing. You know, our mouth is our shop window. It's talking to people. Have conversations with everyone you meet. Ask questions. Now, here's a really good question. You need your notebook out now and write this one down. It's 3 words. How are you? How are you? That's going to make you a fortune. And when you've asked them the question, you need to zip your lips and listen and get your ears flapping. And then when they tell you what's wrong with them, and there'll be a problem or there'll be something wrong with them, you need to say, that's interesting. I could have something that might be able to help you. Share the benefits of the products with everybody. You build relationships with people through the products. You can talk to them about them, their family, and you can make friends with people. Ask for referrals. Do you ask your customers or people that you know whether they know anybody who might be interested in it? And make that worthwhile for my customers by giving them another small product that they might like, as well as the product that they're using. Repeat business. That's very important. The more repeat business you can get, the less you're going to have to go out and look for those 20 to 30 customers. I try and keep at 24 to 25 customers all the time. I've got 24 at the moment, and if one drops off, I tend to find that I get another one. It's so important. You need to make it fun. Make retailing fun and helping others. There's lots of ways that you can retail. There are tabletops. I know some of you have already done tabletops, but I would go to a tabletop with the attitude of I'm going to look to try and recruit people as well as retail the products, because it's a great recruitment opportunity if you're using a questionnaire. And I use the questionnaire to get my database filled and fill my pipeline of potential prospects for the business as well. And when I go back to people with that prospect list, none of them someone would have won a small display of products that's on the table, but the rest of them have all been runners-up when I call them, and they're going to win a free trial of the products. And that's when I use my PupBoxes for them to be able to borrow, because they've won a free trial of the products or a free consultation with me about the products. We've got summer fates coming up now at school. This is a great time to be able to get business. Christmas fairs, weight management groups. You could run a local weight management group. There's local clubs, mums and toddlers, sports centres, social media and Facebook. Just be imaginative, have fun, share the products and share the power of the products with absolutely everyone. Facebook is very powerful as long as you don't bombard your friends constantly with selling the products. It's using social media and using Facebook very smartly by creating stories that make people interested and curious to find out more about the products. I've seen some really good posts from some of the team just lately for suntan lotion. This is the time of the year for that, and and I've seen that people are curious about the suntan lotion and are asking about it as well. And this has been a great day to post something about suntan lotion. The only thing I would say about retailing is have fun, be imaginative, but please check out on the results today group page on the files section. Just please check out that you're being compliant with what you're saying about the products in anything that you promote the products in. We can't make medical claims, and if you're not sure about something you're saying, check with your upline or go to Sarah Acklam at head office, and she will absolutely confirm to you what the important things are to put into your promotions for the products, because we can't make medical claims. So just be careful about what you're saying with the products, but have a lot of fun when you're doing it, and it can be great fun. So now I'm going to hand you over to Hugh, because we've looked at some retailing, to learn a little bit about the recruiting process.
And this is not only is it one of the first things you do, it's probably one of the most important. Because your who do you know list is the gold dust. It's the diamonds, ironically, where you might find diamonds in your business. Now, if I can put this in proportion, everybody knows McDonald's, and you all may have heard of a phrase called the cash cow. And a cash cow is something that's in a business that is their key bulk product. It works really well, and they never move away from it. So when you go into McDonald's, you're going to get a burger and you're going to get some fries. You might have something called chicken McNuggets, you might have a flurry, you might have an ice cream, but what you're really going to get is a burger. It's the core, they're never going to change that cash cow. And the cash cow of your business is your Who Do You Know list. It's the most precious thing you know, of the people you know. So when you download those lists and you start filling them in, try and be unrestrained in everything you do. Empty your head of absolutely everyone you know. All the people you think they might join my business, and all the people you think they certainly will not join my business, put them on the list. Don't prejudge anybody. We made a number of massive mistakes, because when we did our first Who Do You Know list, we went back to our sponsor Jane Leach, and we only had 33 people on our list, and she said, "You two must be really sad if you've hit middle age and you only know 45 people." We knew hundreds of people, but of course we decided who was going to like the opportunity and who wasn't. It was a massive mistake for us. And the first 2 people who joined our business, I told Jeanette not to go and speak to because they were going to be a waste of time. So that's how clever I am, really. So try and put everyone on there. Even the people you think, I can't possibly speak to that person, put them on the list. Because what I did when I did my scared list, I handed my scared list over to my sponsor, John Curtis, and he did all the calls for me. And that's what we'll do with you. So don't prejudge anybody, and if I could give you a tip, it would be have a UK list and a worldwide list. Because the way the business is now growing, we're going increasingly into a global business, we're paid globally, and you can build a business in another country, A, because we have a support structure there, and B, the way that technology is, now you're able to do that. And the Who Do You Know list is a dynamic process. You don't do it once, it's changing all the time. So if you meet somebody, just drop them out the Who Do You Know list. It might be a week or 2 before you call them, but get them onto that list. It's absolutely crucial. And then the next part of that process is we'll profile it. Because we'll sit with the people who joined our team and we'll make those calls with them, but of course we don't know that prospect as you do. So just make a few notes about the prospect, what sort of person they are, what sort of things they're interested in, what sort of things you think they benefit from getting from a career with forever. Time, less stress, money, whatever else it is. And whether there'll be a prospect for the product or whether there'll be a prospect for the business. Because you don't know until you speak to them. And personal traits are very, very important. And keep those notes when we call them back. So when we start speaking to them about what we can offer, we need to match exactly what we can offer into what are their specific needs. And we'll do those calls for you.
So the recruiting process is about contacting those people. It's not about taking a giant leap for mankind and saying, join my business. And I think that's one of the mistakes that we made to start with. We were going and trying to get people to join our business right at the very start. The recruiting process is a gentle process. It's contacting people to say to them, come and take a look. This is by invitation only. You invite people to look at the products, you invite people to look at the business opportunity. And hey, this is wonderful because you're able then to choose who you want to work with. So if you like people, you can work with them, and if you choose not to invite them, that's absolutely down to you. And the contacting, you must do in the normal way that you would normally do with someone. It would be very strange if you contacted somebody regularly on Facebook and then suddenly made a phone call to them. They'd be wondering, what's up? So you need to do it in the most natural way that you would contact somebody. You have to phone them. You have to text them. You have to Facebook them or email them or face-to-face. And all this is an invitation. It's saying to people, come and take a look at the business opportunity. Giving them a little bit about your story and saying, why not take a look at the business opportunity? And if they decide to come and take a look, you then show them the business. And showing them the business is either getting together over a quick cup of coffee and doing what we call a quick one-to-one in a short 15 to 20 minutes. And it's what I call a smell of the bacon sandwich or a whiff of the chips. It's a quick fly past about the business opportunity. Or you send them some information, and you might want to send them one of the links that's on the QLSonline.net website, or you might want to use one of the new video links that we've just created, your managers and ourselves, for you to be able to use with a prospect. We're going to grow that list of potential videos for you to show to people. But basically it just tells people a brief fly passing, no more than 5 to 10 minutes, about what the business is all about. And it's someone seeing something in it by seeing someone similar to themselves. So once someone's seen that, you need to ask a very important question at the end of that. And the important question at the end of seeing some information or showing them some information face to face is, from what you've seen so far, and obviously with a whole lot more information to come, and please feel free to say no, did you see anything in that for yourself? And shut up, because that's going to lead to the next step. And the next step is the recruiting process. So if you remember, you might have come through this recruiting process, and you have to remember how you felt. You felt comfortable coming through this process, so you're able to bring other people then comfortably through this process as well. If you start leaving bits out, people start to get confused about what they're coming to see, or they jump bits and they're not sure. So if you bring people gently through this process, they'll learn and be comfortable about bringing other people through this process as well. So the next step is then the business presentation, or showing people some more information about how the money's made. And the business presentation I'm just going to ask you to talk briefly about now.
There'll be plenty of business presentations. Here in Wales there are 3, there's going to be 4 when Cardiff starts next week. But if you're talking to anybody in the UK, I think we run them in 53 or 54 other cities regularly all over the country. What the business presentation does is 2 things really. It gives a lot of information, but people will go to a room where they'll see a lot of other people who are looking at the business as well, and that makes them feel confident. And they'll rub shoulders with all sorts of other distributors who've just started or have been very experienced, and they can ask questions, they'll share experiences, and it makes people feel a lot more comfortable. And if you're starting in the business fairly new, what could be better? You take along a guest, and an experienced forever distributor who's built a big business does all the talking for you. So you can just sit back and relax and let your guest enjoy it. So, the successful people never ever miss a business presentation. So if that's what the successful people do, you probably need to do the same thing. So make a point of saying, whatever night it is my BP, I'm going to be there, ideally with a guest.
And when you feel brave enough, volunteer to get involved in the business presentation, because if you're up there speaking, then your team see you speaking, your guests see you speaking. It brings a lot more credibility to what you're doing with your business, and shows that you're a leader that someone wants to follow. So getting involved in the business presentation is a great way to move forward. It's also excellent if you can be there with guests. So well done to anybody who's been to business presentations so far with guests, or have been to a business presentation. At the end of that process, at the end of the business presentation, it's really important for them to allow people to ask questions, answer those questions, and then to fill in the registration form. It's important that you lead someone as to what to do next. You don't turn to the person at the end of a business presentation, or when you finish, and say, so what do you think of that then? Because I say, oh, I didn't like his shoes, or I didn't like their tie, or I didn't like the dress they were wearing. It's important to say, okay, so can you see now how working with Forever and us working together, we can now achieve X, Y and Z for you? And wait for them to answer. Once they've answered, you say, great, so all we need to do now is fill in the paperwork and get things started. Welcome them to the team, and away we go. It's as simple as that for recruiting, but it's about bringing people through the process to join the business. The next stage is planning your new person to manager, and a lot of you are in the process of planning your businesses at the moment. It's planning how you get to manager. And you saw on that schematic before that we did, where you can plan a base month for supervisor with 10 case credits, 15 the next month to go to supervisor itself, then to just jump to another 10 case credits to 25. It's not going up hundreds of case credits, it's just taking little jumps. 10 to 15, 15 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 50, that'll put you at assistant manager. 50 to 70 will give you manager in 6 months. You can do it in 4 months by just jumping a little bit quicker. So if between now and August you can get to manager, Cancun is absolutely in the time frame for you to be able to achieve. So it's just a question now of how soon do you want to become manager. And doing it in 6 months is absolutely doable with those small jumps, with you and a team of 10 to 20 people, 25 people building your businesses. you can achieve manager, and everybody learning and how to do their 4 CCs. You just build your business by feeding the process. So prospects are going to be prospects for the business or prospects for the products. You don't know until you talk to them. Nobody has a nice cross on their forehead saying, I'm your next diamond manager, come and get me. We need to go and talk to them and find out whether they've got some interest. So this business is about talking to people. It's about talking to lots of people. And the faster you can go and talk to people, then you're going to build a business faster. There's nothing worse than coming to a business presentation and arriving there and then someone else is there with someone you know who you could have spoken to and was on your list. So my tip is to talk to people as fast as possible and get those prospects locked into you for the products and the business. So you make that phone call, or you make that text or that Facebook contact. You show them a one-to-one, give them a DVD, or however you're going to actually show them the business, giving them a fly pass, bring them to the BP, bolt them into the trainings and planning, success days, trainings, and start to retail. And that's the process. And from that, you're going to develop customers, people who love the products but don't necessarily want to join the business, and that's wonderful. We need those. You're going to develop distributors, people who just want to distribute the products and earn that 35%. You're going to find supervisors, people who want a small team and to have some fun and to build a small team and get an income of £200 to £500 a month and are very happy doing that. You'll find managers then, and you'll find diamond managers. But it's about feeding that process consistently and persistently that builds a big business. So what are the disciplines that you need for success? This is your job description of what you've got to do to build a business in Forever Living Products, if you like to think of it that way. You have to learn how to prospect. You've got to learn how to talk to anyone, any place, any time, anywhere. And the faster you can do that, the faster your business is going to grow. And never miss an opportunity. You're just a messenger giving people the opportunity. And you have to develop an elephant skin around you, or a rhino skin, that some people are going to say no. But if someone says no and you offer them a cup of tea, you don't go and slash your wrists. And this is exactly the same. You're just offering them the opportunity. If they're saying no to the business opportunity, not to you. So you don't go and slash your wrist, you just carry on and say next, and that's just the way it works. You need to learn how to present the business. Presenting the business is really important, because if you can present the business, people will buy you first and they'll want to be led by you. Would you join your business? That's a very important question. And you need to think that. Would I join myself? Because if you think you wouldn't join yourself, then sure as eggs is eggs, other people aren't going to want to join you. You need to learn how to invite people to come along to meetings, to come along to look at the business. Learn to invite people to come along to trainings as well, and be enthusiastic about communicating information. You need to learn how to recruit, how to get the form out and actually get them signed, and learn how to plan their business with them. In the same way as someone planned with you, you need to plan with someone else, and then you need to learn how to retail. It's simple. It's not difficult. It's not difficult, but it's not always easy. So it's finding the time to be able to do all of those things to build a business. So these are the disciplines that if you can put in place into your business regularly, that will build you a really big business. Hugh's already said it, you need to attend your weekly BP or your bi-weekly BP, whatever it is that you can go to. And if you can bring guests, that's absolutely the way to go. The business presentation is paid for by the company for you to be able to bring guests and to bring yourself along to. Sometimes the business presentation needs you because you've had a great week, and sometimes you need the business presentation just to give you that oomph ready for the next week. You need to contact 2 to 5 people a day if you're part-time. So if you've got another job or you're doing something else, you need to be aiming to try and talk to 2 to 5 people about the business and the products every day. You need to contact 5 to 10 people if you're doing it full-time, if you want this to happen quickly. You need to aim to recruit 2 to 4 people a month. All the big business builders are recruiting 2 to 4 people a month. Nat Healy, who's UK number 1 or number 2 distributor, is recruiting 3 to 5 distributors a month without fail. 48 new people in, 50 new people in your business in a year is going to give you some diamonds coming through in a good mixture of everybody. 5 new retail customers a week. You can even have 2 days off. If you can find 1 customer a day, 5 days a week, you're going to absolutely build a great retail base, and your 4 CCs will be in the bag before you even know it. So you can do your retailing from your 4 CCs from retailing. But if you're using a bit, retailing a bit, and sponsoring someone into your business with 2 case credits, your 4 CCs is absolutely doable. You need to attend the success days. There's one coming up in June in Telford, and the next one will be in Cheltenham in July. And the success days will help you learn, and it'll increase your belief in the company, because you'll see lots of people there, and you'll realise that it's not just about a few people, it's about a lot of people at the success day, and you'll get recognised for positions on the marketing plan, which is even more exciting. Go back a page. You need to attend the relevant trainings. So well done everybody for being involved in this training tonight, because this is a relevant training. Go to networker skills training, go to the product and customer care training, the core trainings, go to the trainings that are being put on by the company to learn what you've got to learn about the products and about building the business. And you need to then teach all the above, and success is absolutely guaranteed. It's guaranteed if you keep doing that and following that process and keep on and on and on, and it will just happen. It's like the faster the wheel goes round, the faster a car will go. And this is exactly the same. The faster this spins, the faster your business will grow. But it all starts with knowing why you're doing this. And if you don't know why you're doing this, you don't know what inspires you to do this, you're never going to build a business. Because if you've had a day at work, one of those really tough days, and you've got to recycle yourself to do some work in your forever business, you ain't going to do it if you don't know why you're doing it. So my question is, what inspires you? Do you inspire yourself? Because if you inspire yourself, you'll inspire others. What makes you emotional? This is a business driven on excitement and emotion. It's not in your head. It's what's going on inside of you. And if you can link your emotions to what you really want, your dreams and goals, you'll absolutely build a business. What price will you pay up front for the life of your dreams? And one of the prices you have to pay is some time at the beginning. You need to invest some time into what you're doing. There's nothing that there's nothing that you've done in life that hasn't required some time and effort. Whether it's learning to drive, learning to ride a bike, whatever it is you're learning to do, you've got to put some time and effort, and this is no different. You've got to learn what you've got to learn with it. Don't be like I was when I first started. I was very much from sales and marketing, and I thought, God, I know it all. I don't need to go to any trainings. I don't need to learn anything. Just be like a sponge. That was a big mistake. And I thought, and who's my sponsor to teach me anything? She's only a farmer. That was another big mistake. You just need to learn everything you've got to learn. Be like a sponge, and then really go for it, and your dreams will all become possible. So what are you prepared to work for is our final question. How important is your goal to you? A dream becomes a goal when you put a deadline on it. So you need to create what's called a dream book or a dream board. Put all the things on there that are going to inspire you. It might be they're different for your partner. It might be they're different for your children. Involve your children. Don't make your children your excuse. Make your children your reason for doing this business. If you make them your reason, you'll absolutely fly. Have them do a dream board or a dream book about all the things that they want. We had a team member once whose daughter was saying, Mummy, I don't want you going out in the evening. I don't want this. I want you to be the one reading me a book and reading me a story. And she was getting really upset about going out in the evening. So she asked her daughter then to be involved in her dream board and asked her what she really wanted. And then her horse was up there, a trampoline was up there, all the things she wanted. And the next week then, her daughter was by the front door with her briefcase saying, Mummy, when are you going out to get me my horse and my trampoline? Make your children your reason for you to do this, not your excuse. And you'll absolutely fly. Whatever your dream is, it's got to be your dream, and turn it into a goal with a deadline that'll make it happen for you. So what happens next? Be at the BP next week with guests. Wherever your BP is, whether it's here in Wales or up in London, wherever your BP is, just be there with guests. That would be my tip, Because if you've got guests there, you're bringing people through the process and you're showing the business opportunity to people. It's your chance to learn. Make a plan with your sponsor to be manager as soon as possible and start retailing the product. Start having some fun. Start recruiting people. Think big and have fun. If you think big and you've got big goals and dreams and you work with some urgency and you go on the right tracks to run your business, you're unstoppable. And I think in our team, everybody's unstoppable. We've got an awesome team in results today, and everybody's got some great goals that are coming to fruition in the next few months. So it's just a question now of how big do you want your business to go. Plan how you're going to do your 4 CCs. Look at the incentives that are running in the team. We've got a great incentive called the ICANN incentive at the moment. So please take time to look at that and just enjoy the process. And go and enjoy yourself. Thank you. Yeah. Oh yes, join the Results Today Facebook group if you haven't done that already. Because if you're on the Results Today Facebook group, you'll hear how everybody else is doing, and it'll just be an absolute blast then. And we can keep putting messages on, and you'll get all the information, and you can start using all the tools that we've got. So that's what happens next. Be on the calls on a Sunday evening when we recognise everybody in our team. 9:30 on a Sunday evening. There's a Fuse meeting every week, so that allows you to participate and get a tip. Next week we're going to talk about actually getting people to sign on the dotted line next week, because I think that's a really important one for bringing people into their team. So that'll be great.
Okay, thanks very much for being with us, Steve. I'll just leave you with one thought. Those of you that were at the rally in London a few weeks will remember this, when the founder of the business, Rex Moore, was talking. He spoke for about 25 minutes. It was pretty awe-inspiring stuff. But he said a key phrase, really. He said, you can design your own life. You can write your own story. And when you're writing your own story, you can make yourself the hero of it. And so everybody that's involved with this, you have that chance to design your own life and make yourself the hero of yourself or your family or whatever it is. So and just to answer one of the questions, I'm afraid Rex is married, so sorry. That was it out there. So thanks very much for being with us today. It's been really good fun. Hope you got a lot from that, and see you all soon.
Thank you very much.